Good morning, everyone. I am Tere, and you can follow me in my FB, which name is I am Tere Shares. And you can also follow me here and to subscribe at Real Estate Educator. So I'm a real estate educator and your mentor. I am open to those who would like to earn and learn real estate until you find a real estate is able to help you in your financial sources. In this particular session, we will discuss about the steps on how a non-broker could take chance or opportunity to become licensed real estate salesperson. Because in our law, in RA 9646, only brokers could practice real estate brokerage. But if you are a non-licensed, you can be accredited to be able to practice brokerage. But here, there are requirements in the real estate brokerage. And these requirements are as required by the PRC, or I mean, as required by the RESA law, you need to have at least 2 years of college. And this 2 years of college must be a college that you took in the baccalaureate. It's not a vocational. And after which you need to take a 12 after this is one of the most or the basic requirement. You need to be at least 2 years of college. So that is number one. Otherwise, the rest you cannot consider to, you cannot, without this second year college or second year college education, you cannot proceed to be accredited as a real estate salesperson. And another major requirement is that you must be able to finish or take the real estate brokerage seminar for at least 12 credit units. And Philippine Center, where you can find at the FB page at the Appeal Center, www.facebook.com Appeal Center. So that's the Facebook page where you can follow to check the schedule, and they schedule regularly for 1 week. Every week. So that's it, ano. So that is where you can find the provider for the 12 credit units. And the salesperson must have presented at the PRC the requirements. So what are the requirements of the PRC? PRC, by the way, before the requirements, let's talk about the steps in filing accreditation as a real estate salesperson. So paano yon? You need to fill out the application form together with the required documents and submit for pre-evaluation to the application section, licensure and registration division of the regional office. So where can you find the application that you will fill out? So you can find it at the PRC website. In the PRC website, you will notice the blue header, which it has several icons like about services. So you click the services, and then under this services, at the end part, there you can find the real estate salesperson accreditation form. So you download it and fill it up. And then after completing the filling up the application form, then you must follow these processes. So pag na-fill up na yan, you now go to PRC and then pay the required fee to the cashier. Then after paying this fee to the cashier, you need to proceed to the customer service center for metered documentary stamp. And after that, you will now submit your duly accomplished application form and required documents to the application section, licensure and registration division of the regional office, or if you are in Metro Manila, NCR regional office. That's it. Or what we call, this is what we call the head office. So after submitting the requirements, in which I will mention to you the requirements, you need to verify your status, because when you submitted your application form, at the bottom of the application form, there is a portion that you can perforate, or that does the PRC can perforate and then give it to you as your claim stub. And usually it ranges from 1, 2, or the most is 3 months before you could get your how to call it, the accreditation. And there is a resolution that usually is being published by PRC, or you can visit the PRC website at the www.prc.gov.ph/real estate service. There you can find the resolution. So now let's go back to the real estate required documents for real estate salesperson. So here, number one, I mentioned the duly accomplished application form for real estate salesperson. Second is the original and photocopy of the Philippines Statistic Authority, or what we call the PSA birth certificate. So if you have a copy of the NSO certificate, then that that will do. And original and photocopy of marriage certificate if you are married female, but it is not required for married male, because male does not change their surname. And next is the fourth item is you need to bring your transcript of record, or what we call TOR, or usually, or you may get a certification from the school, college, or university stating that the applicant had completed at least 2 years in college. So there is where you can find in the PRC website this documents requirement for salesperson na may nakalagay na or its equivalent based on CHED Memorandum Order Circular. So they are presuming that there is this order of equivalency for this requirement. But unfortunately, there is no CHED Memorandum Order or Circular pertaining to this requirement for the salesperson. So therefore, it means to say there is no such thing as equivalency. You must complete 2 years college. Okay, next. After this fourth requirement, you need to have a declaration and undertaking issued by your licensed real estate broker stating that she will assume direct supervision on you, accountability, and responsibility for the rest real estate service applicant in compliance with Section 31 and 32, and an undertaking signed by the real estate service applicant and the supervising licensed real estate broker that in the event of dispute or conflict among themselves, they should comply the exhaustion of administrative remedies of the IPO. Okay? And the fifth item is you need to submit the original copy of certificate of completion of your 12 units, 12 hours credit units that you have earned from Field Center. Okay, so I'm recommending Field Center as I can vouch for the presentation of their particular accreditation, their particular seminars, 12 unit seminars for the accreditation of real estate salesperson, or of their real estate brokerage seminar. Okay? And next is you need to submit the original and updated NBI clearance. And in your application, you need to attach two pieces, one by one, a 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 by 1.5 picture, colored in white background with complete name tag for file card and application form. And likewise, you need to submit also the photocopy of the valid PRC ID of the supervising real estate broker with 3 signatures. Note, real estate broker's PRC ID should be valid once you apply and you submitted a photocopy of it. And it should be valid at least 6 months after the real estate service application. And then lastly, you need to pay or the payment of your prescribed fees and the 2 sets of documentary stamp. Okay? So now, I may add in this particular session how you would be able to, in case after accreditation, you find some other concerns that relating to the change of your broker. So for change of broker purposes, you need to duly accomplish the form for the real estate service practitioner. And then the next second is the declaration and undertaking issued by the licensed real estate broker stating that you will be compliant with Section 31 and 32, and an undertaking signed by the real estate service applicant, real estate salesperson applicant, and the supervising licensed real estate broker that in the event of dispute or conflict among themselves, they should comply the exhaustion of administrative remedies of the IPO. Okay? And the next, the copy of the approved request form releasing the real estate service applicant from the responsibility of the previous real estate broker. And next, you need to have the copy of the approved resolution dislodging the real estate salesperson from the previous supervising licensed real estate broker. Note, this large real estate salesperson cannot perform the real estate brokerage service until issuance of a new resolution on his her accreditation with another supervising licensed real estate broker. And next, you need to submit again two pieces of your 1 by 1.5 by 1.5 picture, white background with complete name tag for the application. And lastly, photocopy of the PRC ID of the supervising real estate broker with 3 signatures. Note, real estate broker PRC ID should be valid again for at least 6 months upon the real estate salesperson's renewal application. Okay, so this is all for your requirements. And I'd like to specify that the requirement um, for um, for the second year college has been the issue most of the time by most applicants, as I am also a consultant, technical consultant of CHED, who does the approval of those who are applying to uh, to applying for um, comments on the documents that they are submitting for their college education. So um, our basis on the college education must also conform to the requirement that it must be a baccalaureate degree. So vocational degree or vocational education cannot be equivalent to the second year college level. Okay, especially those who have taken their uh, education in the in the outside the Philippines, because even the college education that is being required for those who could take licensure must be the schools accredited by CHED. So it also follows that um, Filipinos can only practice real estate service in the Philippines. Okay, so this is all for the accreditation of real estate salesperson.